So, I'm kind of not sure how to articulate this. The last few weeks, I've had some stories coming up, which in my head, for want of a better word, challenge. I know I've talked about this in the last few videos about challenge, but the stories to actually see if they're true. So I want to actually challenge their validity, if you like. And I'm not talking about struggle and hardship. I'm talking about the fact that, you know, there's a few things that's happened in the last few weeks, and I have sort of skirted around them on video as I continue to move forward and change exactly how my life is panning out day to day. The stories are rising up. The shadows, I call them, or sub-personalities. These are just the dormant feelings that you've had from, you know, stories from long ago, or, you know, things that are buried. Could be from traumatic experiences. It could be just stories that people have put in your mind that you're not good enough or not worthy enough. And I found that when you step up and show up and push forwards with the life that you actually choose, as opposed to one that you think that you know, you sit back and think, oh, okay, it's life, it just happens. No, it doesn't. Life only happens when you create it. If you want the real life, that's what happens. But also when you do that, you get to come face to face with all the old bullshit in your head. And it does rise up. And if you think you've conquered it once, you're mistaken. Because those stories don't want to go, and they don't want to go quietly. These shadows will try anything and everything to stay where they are. Now, I could go into the whole neuroscience part of it, the brain science of it, but there's no point at the moment. The fact is, this is how you would feel, and this is how I felt. And I could feel some of those old feelings come up, you know, those, I don't want to do this, I just want to run away. And that can feel quite lonely. I felt that. I feel quite alone. But again, everything I feel, I challenge now. Absolutely everything. The feeling of loneliness. Am I really alone? No. Are you looking for permission to go and do something? I've done that in the past. I've not known what to do, and then I reach out to a mentor, a coach, or a friend, and they'll give us a suggestion. Oh, no, go do that. As soon as I say it, yes, that's fine. Now you've told me told me to do that, I'll go and do it. And that's just from years ago. You know, parental. Being told what to do. School. Conforming. And these will rise up. But as long as you're consciously aware of what they are, and you can lean in and feel what the real reason is, you can keep pushing forwards. And there's always resistance before a breakthrough. There's always this push against. All these stories rise up, and they'll keep challenging until you keep this new path, if you like. And so, I say this last wee while has been a bit up in the air for me. And yet I know, despite how I feel, I'm on the right path. Because if it was easy, everyone would be doing this stuff. But challenging or looking inside and coming up with a different story for me to be able to go forward in the path, it's, you know, it can take a while, and, you know, it calls into question your intention. Now, it reminds me of a book I was a co-author of in 2011, December 2011. In fact, probably 5 years ago today, tomorrow, next year, I can't remember what it was, but it was beginning of December. It was called Fit Formula, and it was all about nutrition, it was all about training and mindset, and I wrote a chapter on mindset, and it was a best-selling book on Amazon, and Amazon.com in the US and the UK. Some really good people that are part of that group and part of that book. And even though my specialty is nutrition, I wrote about mindset because I was intrigued by it, and I was researching it at the time. And what kept coming back to me was this whole power of intention. That if you intend something to happen so much that you will make it happen, people will come in your orbit, your life, as teachers to help you when you're ready. but also know that you will be tested. And what I mean by testing is, you say, is this exact, you might want this, but do you really want it? Do you know the consequences of that action? Is it, where you want to go? And that's what these stories, these subpersonalities come up. These shadows. To see how much you want it, to see if it is exactly where you want to go with your life. And sometimes it's not. Sometimes the sacrifice is too great for people. That's cool, I get that. But I know where I'm going. And I know the sacrifice is worth it. And when I say sacrifice, being able, going through this change, this challenge. And so yes, the last few weeks have been tougher than they have been for a while. But that tells me I'm in the right place, because there's no growth and comfort. It's always the path worth travelling is the one less travelled. It's the one that's not trampled on. It's the one almost that you've got to make your own. Because all the rest of the paths have already been made. So what's your path? What's your challenge? Where are you going? And where do you dare to believe to go? And have the faith in yourself to go forwards. Till tomorrow.